Hello, gamers. This is not Minecraft. Or maybe it is. Welcome to the next episode of the modded Minecraft Let's Play. This episode, we will not be playing Minecraft. Uh, so, as discussed previously, I've been looking for a mod pack to be the next Let's Play. But I haven't quite gotten that far yet. So instead, I'm just going to play a little bit of the circuit, which isn't really that complicated. So this is Warframe. I'll start by explaining what Warframe is. It's a free-to-play game, pretty good graphics for free-to-play. You can spend real money to do stuff in the game. I just don't. Probably equip the default. And then this is the Duvary Paradox. So, the way the Duvary Paradox works is that there's two different game modes, Circuit and Duvary Paradox. And this is Circuit, which means I will be playing as a Warframe the entire time. In Duvary Paradox, you play mostly as the goon I was before. But the way Circuit works is you pick one of your options. I have 5 options because I've leveled up the options to more of them. You pick your primary weapon out of I have the Scourge or the Nagantaka Prime as my options. I have the Nagantaka Prime as an option because I have the Prime variant. If I didn't have the Prime variant, it would just be the Nagantaka there. So now we have a few weapons. We'll just pick, doesn't really matter. This is your melee weapon choice. And it's a very much like a roguelike mode. Sadokor is apparently funny, but I'm not a big fan of it. My Nagantaka Prime has a funny build because I've been developing it. So my build bases around using the full unload property and the bolts exploding. But I will be playing as Mirage Prime, who's not my strongest frame, but I think they're funny. So their abilities are pretty simple. They're pretty good. Well, most of these characters are pretty good. This is a new thing that exists. So, when in this game mode, I need to do whatever the objective is. But, additionally, I can collect these fragments, and there are 3 of them per mission. And if you miss one, then you still have 2 for the next mission. These are just resources, they don't matter too much. And they make a sound so you can hear them. But when I get them, I'll get a decree. I had one at the beginning, I shouldn't have just used it. It was instinctual. But these spawn around the map. And when you collect 3 of them, you get a decree. You also get a decree every time you complete the mission. So here we are, I got my 3rd, I get a decree. So these are the things that can happen. And get an extra midair jump. Roll drop. Bombastine's Malice. It's a golden, but that's because there's 2 of them stacked together, so it counts as 2 decrees. So we'll just take that because I'll be using my gun probably a fair amount. And it's a roguelike game mode, so now I'm going to do the objective, which is defend the target, which is this thing. Also, in this game, if you ever are in the air and you aim down sight, then you go into bullet time. I am using a crossbow as my primary weapon. And now you also have abilities. For instance, Mirage's ultimate ability, the Disco Ball. It'll generally clear just about everything on the screen. No, that is a heat wave. Heat is really obnoxious, does a lot of damage. So we avoid it. Melee attack is bound to E, so when you want to kill stuff in melee, you just run up to it and press E. Then you can go back to aiming down sights to your weapon. I have to switch weapons. If you hold F, you switch to your melee. It's still E to melee, but now you can aim down sight with it. If you're looking at somebody when you have your melee weapon out, then you start deflecting. Though it's not that effective a property. My other abilities, my one allows me to summon more of me. And they all also melee attack and stuff, which is funny. We have my 2, which essentially creates an alert mine over there, so that guy will run to it. It creates it out of an object. And I don't remember what that ability does. Eximus, as you're seeing, those are like your battle pass comes automatic, and it refreshes every time you complete an object up to a certain amount. Anyways, there's a pre-built-in challenge system. It's your dailies, essentially. It's your dailies, your weeklies, and your even more long-term. So Mercy is just if you get Eximus low, you can press Mercy and you'll kill it. And then they sometimes drop extra like healing and stuff, and there's some things that apply on that. The reason he died slowly like that was because my weapon applies bleed. I mean, you'll get the idea. This is just supposed to be background noise. Why this over some Minecraft minigames? If you saw yesterday's video, and you saw how terrible those video games felt to play, or those mini games felt to play. These big guys give you a ton of focus. Focus is something that isn't really going to come into play right now. So you don't really have to worry about it, but they give a lot of it. And I have plenty of mana to just use my ultimate ability constantly. Oh, this is a stronger enemy type. And this isn't my strongest character. It would be a lot funnier if I had like Mesa available. Because that's a fun character to just demonstrate. Because they're just good. And they're like funny good, not just good. So this is stage 1. This is the circuit progress. And once you reach a certain amount of circuit progress, you reach... There's a separate battle pass for the circuit. You get to pick out of a few. So this is just an eliminate mission. Kill 65 enemies. There will be more than 65. But just like last time, I'm going to be looking for the decree fragments. So this is just something mindless to do. Warframe is generally my mindless game of choice. Because just doing nothing in this game is just fun. Like, technically I'm getting rewards for doing this, but, like, I'm not getting a lot. I'm getting some focus. I'm getting, like, the circuit progress is going to get me something, but it's nothing really worth celebrating. I'll probably show off the Duvary Paradox after, which I can actually get more from, because I want the resources that only drop from there. And here's the last one. I get my decree. And I do a decent amount of damage with this weapon. I'm not I'm not a complete beginner at this game. I'm not by far. I'm not anywhere close to. No, here we can actually check. So I am rank 14, master rank 14, and so 30 is one of the biggest points to hit. It's essentially, it's not truly max level, but it's effectively max level. Because once you hit that, you then prestige. So consider me at it. In other games, I'm essentially at like level 45, effectively. But also your individual characters, and there's the loot you have to apply to stuff. You know, your general RPG mechanics. What's great about the circuit is I can use the default build, which is just a generalized build, which uses some of just the generally popular and good mods for characters. And mods are just, unlike modded Minecraft, mods are just a system in this game that allow you to modify everything. You have mods for your weapons, mods for your Warframe, mods for the device you use to hack, mods for your dog. Truly is a lot of stuff. But they're just general things, like, and they're important too. Like, it's not just like, oh, you get a mod that boosts your attack damage by 5%. We're talking, oh yeah, boost your health by 400%. Increase your critical hit chance by 110%. These are big numbers. They are essentially everything in this game is mods. The character themselves obviously matters, but the character isn't as valuable if they don't have the mods on them to make them good. Like, if you want to use the character's abilities to the fullest, you gotta put on things like ability efficiency, which is the amount of essentially mana or energy that you use when you use the ability. So for instance, I just use that and it chunks my oh, this is like a mini boss guy that's really annoying. He doesn't do much damage. Oh, when you fall out of the map, you just pop back up. Yeah, Vor's like a dude from this game, and he's trying to shit talk right now, but yeah, I completely missed him. Yeah, there he is. You have to hit him in that weak spot, which is why I don't aim for it. I just rapid fire aiming at it. The one annoying thing is that if I'm too close to an enemy, because my shots explode, I get sort of like pushed back from my own shots. Oh, and that was that. Survival's pretty easy. You just survive 5 minutes. Though, it's not that easy. You still have to kill stuff in order to... You still have to kill stuff in order to get this life support. Though there's also life support like capsules you'll see on the map. That's what it's pointing to. It's that right there. And I can use that in order to gain more life support. Also, you can do damage by just sliding through stuff, so that's why those things will explode if I go right over them. Because those things have very low HP. Also, another satisfying thing about this game is the movement. What's called bullet jumping is one of your primary ways of moving. So essentially, if you're sprinting and you slide and press spacebar to jump, you do this bullet jump forward. and it's just really good for moving around the map. Here we go. This is good. The drifter part doesn't really affect me because the drifter is for Duvary Paradox, and I'm not doing Duvary Paradox. I can just throw this out now, though. It gave me 15% ability efficiency, which means my abilities cost 15 less. And now that's somebody died and dropped life support, so I run by and I pick it up. And now I'm at 50%. I should really start getting on killing people to get them to drop it. And then I can just walk up to this thing. And my disco ball is still going around. So, just as easy as that. So I've survived 2 out of the 5 minutes I need to. And I have 75% life support. Now all these guys are grouped together. We throw that down at my feet and we've cleared them. So this does get a lot harder. Also, there's what's called the Steel Path, which is for if you're good at this game and you've unlocked the Steel Path, which is done by doing every single map node in the game. Essentially, there's a mission at each map node. And once you've unlocked all of them and done them all, you get to unlock Steel Path, which is a much harder version of every mission with better drops and everything. And there's a Steel Path version of this, which has special loot you can only obtain through doing the Steel Path circuit. And they're special weapons with unique properties on them, and it's very cool. I don't have access to that. I haven't even done the main story to unlock things. Also, having these goons out, enemies will shoot at them instead of just at you. And if they're shooting in your area, yes, they'll still just hit you if they shoot through an illusion. But sometimes they'll miss you because they're aiming for an illusion instead of you. But this character's good. They're used for a lot of things. Their passive is funny. They just do things like sliding and jumping faster, and they do it for longer. So how does that make sense? They do it longer, and they do it faster. So the animation's faster, and they physically get through the animations faster. You can see the life support's actually getting low because I'm just not getting drops, but that's fine. Because there's another one of those things over here. And it takes a moment to use. Once I use it, I'm up to 40%. Now, if you have more people, more enemies spawn, and thus more of this stuff drops, and other people can help out. I prefer just to run it alone. Because the worst feeling is when you're just like trying to have fun, and then somebody is just... you know. So there's two ways. It's either somebody's just doing everything, so you just sit there for like 20 minutes until things get hard, or they do nothing, and then after 20 minutes it becomes hell. Or some of these game modes aren't as fun. Assassination, they've added a new boss to this, which makes it a lot more fun. Status effects deal double damage. I'm doing some statuses, so that's fine. That's the corrupted jackal. You just killed that poor Tam. Not a ram, it's a Tam. Here we go. I heard it somewhere around here. I don't remember exactly how to fight this boss, but I do, no matter what, want to get my decrees first. Because it's what's fun about this game mode, and it's how you scale. Now this boss, I have fought him a couple times, but he's a lot newer. This doesn't help that he also has blue particles, so it's hard to tell exactly. If I don't find the if I don't find all these, it's fine. It's not really a big deal. Because if I miss one, then I'm just one behind for a while. It's not a huge deal. But there are 3 per level, so you can get 1 extra decree per level. So if you get behind by 1, you'll just constantly be behind. Now, none of these are really that fun, so I'll just reroll. Now I do heat damage nearby. Now we need to get in here. And it's Teshin. He's your wise and loyal friend who tells you how to fight the bosses. Just cover while I get my health back. There we go. I was able to blow that up. Now, I'm not actually sure if this would hit me or just go right over me. And then there's this cool animation. And like any good boss, it's got 3 phases and a health bar. So he teleported away. Now we gotta defeat his reinforcements. Two guys hiding in here. A basic shockwave attack. I think he's actually pretty sick. Whoops, shot the already damaged leg. You can also dodge roll. Oops. I meant to jump over those, but I missed. So you can't just sit outside the force field and shoot him. That's why there's a force field. No, that's my operator. He's not very strong, but he can absorb some hits for it. And off the map again. Alright, now phase 2 version of this attack. Ow. Now he switches direction. Oh, and he used the missiles from above as well, so I had to avoid those too. But he got me once, I got him once. This isn't my tankiest frame. I've got characters I prefer to play better. This character's just fun, and they have a really good just ultimate for clearing out waves of enemies. And then like to get health back, there's like these things will drop, but also melee attacks can headshot. That is something that you can note about this game. Headshots can hit, critical hits can overcrit. Where's the appropriate leg? Oh, it's probably going to be death for me. So health doesn't regenerate on its own. Oh, wait. There's 15 reinforcements this time. And I threw myself right off the map. So I'm not the best at this boss fight. Haven't done it a lot. Not a very tanky Warframe to begin with. But we can do stuff like this. And I hit the force field. Okay, that makes sense. Oh, they're doing this attack. And they're launching missiles from above at the same time. My screen is now permanently dark. That's not a visual error on your side. That's a bug in-game. I can't see the floor. Now, Warframe is a free-to-play game. Where's the enemy? Let's see the radar. There you are. Hiding over this ledge. Now we can go back to fighting the corrupted jackal. It appears to be the hind leg. I can't see the floor. I think I'm on a cliff. This is not an attack he has. This is just my game glitching out in a very peculiar way. I doubt this will hit because it has to be attack that targets. There's a weak spot leg over there. Now this should be bright enough to see. Though I can't see the giant explosion marks in the floor. Oh, but I can't see the giant explosions going on. Alright, now I'll respawn on him. Ah! Lights are back on! I don't know why that happened. It's kind of a funny bug, though. Yeah, Teshin, you tell him. So anyways, next would be an excavation mission. Excavations suck, so we will not be doing it.
It is in your nature.
I killed 2 bosses because they count. Corrupted Vor as a boss, even though he isn't. But that was some Duveri paradox. Oh, this is my orbiter. The orbiter is your generalized spaceship. And you can decorate it with all sorts of stuff. We got my Ureli card. Apparently in the recent update, they made Ureli's Wave Rider quest easier to do, making Ureli an easier character to get, which is really sick, because Ureli was not difficult, but a little annoying to get. Oh, my foundry. I think that it's the Woolness Prime is done. Yeah, there it is, ready to claim. Oh, so this is my main frame, Garuda. I've got a fair amount of frames, a few unleveled, but that's okay. But Ureli's pretty sick. They're the Wave Rider. This is their comic. They have a comic book that was drawn about them. Like, this is the way you unlock Ureli is you get all the comic book pages. It's actually really sick. That's my Roomba. I mean, it's kind of a cool system. You got a room out here that you can personalize. You got your fish that you capture from different places. Of course, this game has fishing. There's your Soma chord. You can pick which song you have going. I have this song that's currently going on in the background on. because a lot of the other ones are very intense. Here's the operator. Here's my guy. He looks like a plant. And that's how I like him. So focus, something we established earlier, existed. There's a max amount you can get, and then you can spend it. So I have 784,000. So you would use it to get these abilities to just be stronger. And no, I'm not going to commit that. I didn't like that choice. Let's just go for this. I cannot afford that. Let's go for this because we can. And you have a daily cap amount you can get per day, but that really doesn't matter. It's essentially just so you can't just instantly max out them in a day. And then here we have the helmet.
The bowels of the ship.
Ordis is annoying, and he doesn't like what's going on back here. But this is Markiplier. That's my dog. So this is the helmet. It allows for what's called subsuming. So what you can do is you can essentially consume a Warframe into the chair. So I name my Markiplier. I just thought it would be funny, feed Markiplier. To be fair, I still think it's funny. But essentially, you can feed the helmet a character, and then it will give a version of that ability, or it will give an ability that character has to the chair, and you can apply that to other characters, replacing one of their abilities. So here, Rhino is a character that exists in this game who has an ability called Roar, which is just a damage up for you and everybody around you. So the altered version for the helmet is that they decrease the damage that you get. Now there's these other abilities as well, which generally aren't as good, but if there's a character that you play that doesn't have that good of an ability that you'd rather just not use, that's where you do it. Like, I don't use Saren's Molt, so I use Roar to increase the damage instead. But this is Warframe. I'll probably play some Duveri after this, but I'm going to end this episode here. But it's only been 30 minutes. Yeah, these are filler episodes. I don't know why you expected a full episode. Also, it's the Halloween season, so happy October.